Okay, so I'm gonna do the bow that I refer to as the Joanna bow because I'm about as good as certain individuals as naming bows. And you need 8 pieces of 22 cm each, and as you can see, you layer, so you've got 4 pieces. I always seal the ends together as much as possible. This one's a bit loose. So. Just give it a little, squish it together a little bit. And with these, because you do 2 left and 2 right to get your bow, you pin in 1.5, 2 left, 2 right to get your ribbon in the correct order. So put those ones out the way for the moment, and we'll start with the left ones first. So I'm doing some inspired by bows at the minute, as I am quite creative, but I like something to sort of inspire me. So what you do is, obviously, you go to curve the shape up like this, and you get the point like that, and you're back. Looks like this. So basically, what you're doing is you're using your pin head here to get your bow and ribbon all in alignment. That's what you do on that side. Cross it over so you get a nice point. And again, this is your front, this is what your back will look like. And then what you do is, with your point, take that up, bring it, you see where you got your pin head? You want it to the opposite corner to where the pin head is. And then you have this shape, and this is how it looks at the back. And then what you do with this bit, so see how this bit's black? Twist it so you can see white, and then you turn that up so you've got this. And then what you do, you want to clip from this side to hold it in place. You see? Front, back, front, all lined up, and repeat again. Pin head to line up. Get your point. Use your point to get your triangle shape. Get your V, so you've got a long bit that side, short bit that side. Take your point to the opposite corner to where the pin is. Now I will say this, you don't really need pins after you've got your turns in, but they're useful because they show you where to get to twist your markers round so that you can get your bows all stitched together. So I'll show you in a minute. So like I said, point to corner, you've got your white this time, and like I said, you want to turn it so it's black. So you twist it into, like that, and then up so your white is shown again. Line it up in your corner, and clip, and that is your second one. So as you can see, you've got your point here, your front, back. Now we do the opposite way. So you got your pin this side, so you bring point shape as before. Well, before we were going that way, this time we're going this way. So like I said, exactly as before, cross over that way. So this time you got the long that side and the short this side. And again, use your pin as a guide, opposite corner to where it is. Hold in place there, so you've got your point there, and again you want it towards you. Well, you want the black into you, so the white's showing again, and then you fold it back up. So in this case, your black's showing again. And line it all up so that all the edges meet. In pin. Then you are left with this back, front, nice little point, so you know you've got your shape right. And that is the opposite. Put that in alignment because my little point has gone out of place. And I'm by no means perfect when I make these. I often have to realign things a couple of times when they slip out of place before I actually start putting my stitches in. Same thing again, use your pin head. Point shape, opposite way, long bit that side, short bit that side as your V. Use your point to the opposite side to your pin. White to you, so it's showing black, and then white side up to the black ribbon to do that. And here you go. Right, so now you've got 2 left side pieces and 2 right side pieces, and what you do is your pins, you see here you've got your pin outside, that's how they connect together. So when you're doing your stitches, you start here, go up, and again, same way to work it out. Pins are on the outside, because what you want is you want this nice curve shape here to be coming together when you're getting all your stitches in. Okay, so I always line them up in the way that I am going to stitch, and I've got my needle and thread ready. Like I said, I've just relined them up a little bit because they all sort of slipped. Make sure you've got all 4 layers, because if you slip even slightly on these, you will have to literally take the whole thread out and start again. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4. What you want to do is on your 5th, you want to go through 2 layers through the tip of your corner and then through your other 2 layers. Like I said, leave a little tail for when you're cinching, as I normally do. Right, okay. Now if you've lined these pieces up right, so we've just come out of the little corner, when you're going into your second piece, we're going in to all the layers with the point. Spinner. So as you can see, you start in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, in, out. So you start out, you come out, you start, etc. So it all comes together nice. And then, like I said, because I never make in 2 pieces because I don't trust it, I carry on stitching and do like a full circle. And again, make sure everything's nicely lined up. One, 2, 3, 4. Take your hold clip out. Make sure it's all lined up. Through all your layers into the tip of your triangle. Thread it along. Like I said, we've just come up from the triangle point, tip. So this time we're coming up from the tip of the triangle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So as you can see, you've now got this configuration like this. What I do, start cinching. Take your pins out. What I do, go through the bumps. And as you can see, at the minute, these bits kind of come out of it. And if you have a look at any of mine that I have pre-made, as you can see, mine are nicely pulled together. And that is because I do a teeny tiny stitch rather than a blob of glue, because the glue makes it look a bit messy, to hold it together and make the shape all nice. And again, excuse Groot, I'm a bit of big ink. So I'll show you how to do that in a minute once I have finished stitching off the back. Like I said, again, Excuse all the plasters, I have absolutely battered my hands to pieces just recently. I don't even know how I've done it. Like I said, I know some of it was a glue gun when it all leaked as I was fixing it, but some of it's just because I am genuinely clumsy. I don't even know how I injure myself half the time. It's great fun. Keep getting bruises on my knees from where I have a habit of leaning on myself. You see with my hands like this, my elbows are on my knees leaning. I really should do more for my posture. Okay, so as you can see, that's all ready to go. And I do have invisible thread now, but you can do it with your standard thread. You just do it far enough in that it can't be seen unless somebody is literally staring intensely at the bow. Like I said, you just need your normal little thread as normal. And what I do is I sort of go, you see as the petal bits here are coming in, if you go through those two layers, like this, when I say I like trickier bows, yes, some of them take more energy to make, I'll give you that, but I think it just shows how special handmade can actually be. Like I said, don't make a very big stitch, like I said, just do a couple of in, and then I just literally don't stitch through the ribbon, just stitch through the stitch. You've got a giant mess in the bow. Very, very me. There you go. Make sure it's nice and secure. And snip it off. And then, as you can see, from that side that's all wide, that's nice and together, that side. And unless you go in, you can't see. So again, repeat the other side, and then we'll make the base bow. And because I'm really clever at the moment, while I was doing all my Halloween bows, I've actually run out of black 9mm ribbon, and I'm awaiting on an order later in the week, because like I said, I don't keep track of how much certain colours I've got in, because I'm really sensible right at this moment in time and haven't been paying attention while I've been making. So learn from me and keep enough of your 9mm in stock, especially of really common colours. But I think that's why I thought I had more, because I always buy them on 25-metre rolls and they last quite a while unless you're doing lots of weaving and things like that, and I didn't realise how low I'd actually got on white and black. You can tell my housemate's not home tonight as well. He's out doing board game evening that he runs, which is why I get to talk more, because I don't get self-conscious. Same on Tuesdays. It's my day at home by myself, so I'm more talkative. Okay. And as you can see, all together. And the other thing, while I'm doing this, you'll also get to see how I do a split pinwheel. While I've been stitching that together, show you this. It's called Trim It High Tack Glue, and it says it's meant to be for beads, sequencing and rhinestones. It's safe, non-toxic and suitable for most fabrics. It clears clear, and also instead of glue gunning things together, I use a tiny drop of this. It doesn't hold it amazingly, but it's not for holding it amazingly, it's for holding it together enough for when I'm stitching through, so that it's easier to stitch through than, like I said, glue gun, because that is quite tough, and this makes it much easier. Same when I'm doing lots of tuxedo bows, tiny bit of that as I'm doing multiple ones to hold them in place makes it much easier. Now, as you can see, here's one I glued earlier. And when I'm doing split, I always put the middle right on the centre. And what you do is you essentially wrap almost backwards. Like I said, this is a slight overlap bow. So let's put like, I'll show you in the light in a minute once I've clipped it. Right. So when I'm doing these base bows, can you see here, what I do is I sort of overlap them just by about ½ centimetre, both sides, and it gives it a different look than a traditional pinwheel, which is quite round. Like I said, that's why I call it an overlapped pinwheel instead of just a pinwheel. And like I said, these are better for base bows, especially these kind of square structured kind of bows, because they just fit better, suit better. You can do spikes, and I believe these ones need 3 or 4 times 14 or 15, depending on how long you like your tails to be. But as we all know, I am not a big fan of tails because I can't cut or seal them straight properly, and if I can't make a good version of them, I will find an alternative way. Because when it comes to bow making, you do what makes sense and what works for you. Which is why sometimes it takes watching multiple different tutorials from different people to actually be able to understand things. Because not everyone learns the same way. And I've been doing lots and lots of research on all the different ways people learn, from visual, reading and kinetic and all of these kind of things, which has actually been really helpful, because it makes sense why different people learn different ways, and why something that makes sense to me from looking at a picture would not make sense to someone who needs to be shown physically how to make something, or has to watch a video like 1500 times before even something quite simple would make sense to them. Well, something that seems simple to us would seem like the hardest thing in the world to someone else. So as you can see, got my stitches in, cinched it a bit on my template. Pull it off. Finish cinching it some more. And again, when it comes to these kind of things, it's entirely how long you want to make your. So I like to get it centred and see how long makes sense. Always seal them. Again, like I said, accident prone cat just recently. You know what else I did this week? This knuckle. I set fire to the hairs on my knuckle. That was fun. Delightful smell too. It's like, yeah. And like I said, matches, same both sides. And then what I'm going to do, instead of stitching this off, straight through the middle. And if it doesn't go straight through because it's tough or anything like that, use your desk. Then what you do, straight through the middle there, and I'm going to turn that before I stitch it in place, because as you can see, white side there, I'm going to do the more black side there, and black side there, so I'm going to make sure the white goes there, because like I said, I have an idea in mind for this particular bow, well, inspired by bow. Because Nightmare Before Christmas is my absolute favourite Halloween film. And like I said, we know we all do it, but be sensible. Stitch off in the back. I've got it. As you can see, it's gone a bit squishy, so just put it back about a bit, and I'll just pin a middle round so you can see. Excuse me. Now to check what type. And as you can see, Joanna Bow. That's what it looks like with the middle